Good day, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the Unit 3 test and the future of Algebra 2. Alright, in this presentation, I'm of course talking about grades, ACT, and unit test tips, and the future talking about the fourth 9 weeks. Alright, ACT tips and secrets. So look, in Algebra 2 we cover complex numbers, factoring polynomials, graph behavior, unit circle and trig, functions dealing with characteristics, systems and transformations, exponentials and logarithms, basic statistics, percents, and modeling. This is what we covered in this school year. Now remember, the ACT is part of your grade, so you have to take it. If you choose not to take it because you just don't want to, there's a consequence that's going to happen. Make sure you are there and you're taking your ACT. 18 in the mail gives you test exemptions, quiz exemptions. However, you must have an 85% B for the exempt status. Your ACT, you must answer all 60 questions, and they are all multiple choice, so there's no explanatory responses, which I know you guys are happy about that, and use Desmos because it is your friend. Alright, ACT tips. So this is what I want you to do, and this is what's going to help you be successful. Use Desmos as much as possible. In the 30 minutes of the ACT, go through, do the things that we have done this school year. Get that out the way. And then, in the 25 minutes, do the things that you remember from previous math courses. And then at the end, if you're not sure and you got like questions that you have to answer and you got like 3 minutes remaining, just put a good guess. Who knows, you may get some of them right. So, alright, Desmos. Desmos have two different versions, and you should know this by now. Scientific and graphing. For scientific, it show you how it will solve your equations by the graph looking for the x-intercept. It do all the statistics. It create functions for the table values. Graphing does complex numbers, give you percents, and evaluate weights. So, solving Desmos equations. Now, many of you guys are not good at solving or factoring. So I'm just going to show you how to do this through Desmos. Because remember, you got 60 seconds per question. So here's an equation that they want you to do. Well, if you go to Desmos, you're going to get the x-intercepts of x equals -3 and x equals -2. Alright? Alright. Now, on the ACT, you will be given something like this. And many of you guys are not good with factoring sum and difference of cubes. You just don't have that mastery down. So look, on your ACT, you will have multiple choice. So the first thing you want to do is graph this cube. And when you graph it, you have it look like this, where your x-intercept is at -2, and you have a y-intercept at +8. So what you're going to do, you are going to go through each choice to see which one of these choices matches the graph of this function right here. There's a cube. Now pause the video and try it. All right. By now, you should have gotten the match, and you should realize that option D, the last option, was your factoring answer. All right. All right. Factoring things that you never seen before. Now, on your test, you're going to be given something that looks like this. I didn't teach you this. I didn't. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not. But I did teach you how to use decimals to factor. So, when you factor these, similar to solving an equation, you're looking for when the graph crosses the x, your x-intercept. And your x-intercept is going to be, in this case, x equals -1 and x equals 1. Now, in the first 9 weeks, I taught you about this because these are the multiplicities of 1. And because of this, you're going backwards from the solution or the 0 to the factor form. So if this is x equals -1, well, you could rewrite it as x plus 1. And we did this a lot in the first 9 weeks. And some parts of the second 9 weeks too. Over here, this is x equals positive 1, so just make it x minus 1. And guess what? You just factor that. No problem at all. Quick into the hurry. Alright, and that's pretty much how you deal with the ACT when you factor in those real polynomials. Again, this is factoring, not solving for x. Okay? Again, with factoring, you looking for your x equals, your x-intercept, and then you change the signs and you put parentheses around them. Okay, I taught you about factoring trinomials already. Put that in the calculator, see what you can do on your own. Do exactly what we just did in the previous example. Welcome back. I trust that you have did this. If you have not, please pause the video and try to do this. Yeah, please, please, please don't just watch the videos just for the sake of watching them. You're not going to understand it if you don't do these yourself with me. So pause the video and do it. If you have did it already, let's move on. So when you do that, you got x-intercept of -3 and +4. So x equals -3, x equals +4. So I got my x-intercepts. Now I just gotta work it backwards. So, and this is, I'm sorry, parentheses x plus 3. And then because it's x equals 4, it's gonna be x minus 4. Now this is cool for the ACT. However, in my test, you have to, do not only just that, you have to be able to show some algebra behind it. Now, doing it algebraically, you're going to realize that 3 times -4 gives you -12, because that's how you're supposed to do it. And then 3 plus -4, it gives you -1. And you get those factors. So look, I want to show you this. This is an answer, but also because of the commutative and associative properties of multiplication, You can also write it like this: x minus 4, x plus 3. Your order do not matter, all right? So just keep those things in mind. All right, I want you to try this one on your own. Same way what we've been doing. All right, I trust that you tried this already. If you have not, please pause the video and try it. Cause remember, the only way you're gonna get better at this is you do it on your own. Can't always do it for you. All right, so when we graph this, we get -3 and -0.5. So x equals -3, x equals negative -0.5. So again, we looked at our x-intercepts, and because these have a multiplicities of 1, it's going to be, instead of x minus x equals -3, it's going to be x plus 3, because you are changing your signs, because you are putting this in factor mode. All right. And then I know some of you guys do not recognize decimal points into rational numbers, so you can do x plus 0.5. You can do that, but I know that 0.5 is equals to 1/2. So on my test, especially the fourth 9 weeks, I expect you to know your decimal points, so 0.5 being 1/2. But for the time of purposes of ACT and all them other things, this is fine. This is okay. And on my third test, you could do that, but you have to explain it. Explain. I went to decimals. I looked for my x-intercept to get my solutions. And then from there, I took the inverse of my solutions. I put them in factor form, and that's how I got my factors. That's what you have to say on your test. You have to say it exactly just that when it comes to factoring. All right, decimals will deal with complex numbers for you, but you have to go to your scientific calculator. So you have an example that's like this. When you put it into the scientific calculator decimals, you get this warning sign. You get this warning sign because it's not in complex mode. To do that, you click this button right here. And when you click that screwdriver button, you're going to get complex mode. Turn it on. And when you turn it on, you're going to get 13 as your answer. All right? Now, on my test, because you're going to have to know a great deal about it, for the unit test, just explain what you did in decimals is fine enough. Well, I'll probably just tell you, just give me the answer. But on my fourth 9 weeks test and my final, you have to know all of this because going to Mr. Broussard, that's something that you are expected to know off the bat. All right, Desmos also does some statistics for you, which is the fourth 9 weeks, what you will be doing with me. So there's gonna be a video that show you how to do all of this in Desmos. When you click the list, you go to statistics and you look for median and mean, it gives you your answers. But I'm gonna post a video to help you out with all of that for you. The unit test. Now let's talk about that. The tips and the secrets. All right. You have to factor algebraically. The trinomial that we just did, and I showed you how to, those steps, you have to do that on your test. You have to do the trinomials. All right? The fact about grouping, I have to see the algebra work in addition to the decimals you've been taught. So going to decimals, putting the function in, looking for your x-intercept to find the solutions, and changing the signs or whatnot, and putting them in parentheses for the factor mode. That's cool and all, but you have to explain that algebraically. Now, if it's doing with cubes, I may be okay with just having you to just give me the answer without no explanation. Or if it's dealing with squares like this, you have something that looks like this, yeah, you can put that in decimals to give me my answer. But if it's something that I have taught you and we be doing for some time, like this guy, and factor by grouping, you gotta show some algebra behind that. So yes, in addition to the decimals. Know the unit circle and the Pythagorean. By now y'all should know how to do the unit circle. If not, I will repost some videos for y'all to do that, but you guys gotta know how. Thursday, Friday is your unit test. Y'all missed the week, you messed up on yourself. Solving the systems of equations. We did that in January. I will post you a video to help you remember that. Characteristics of functions. Y'all should know this because that was on your test. 2. Exponential logarithm. You notice that exponential logarithm is the bulk of your test, right? So is characteristics of functions, too. And of course, the precise definition of mathematics and people are going to be on there. So make sure you know Dr. Glass May West. She certified the precise definition of mathematics by modeling patterns in the environment to create the GPS. Josephine Baker was the certified the precise definition of mathematics because she was the first black spy who ciphered information to save Europe for World War II. You have to know all of that. All right. To have a chance of passing the 39 weeks, well, yeah, 39 weeks. Your ACT, get that done. Be there. On your test, explain your work in words and in mathematics. So don't just show the math if you can't explain the words of it. I showed you guys how to do it step by step. Finish all IXL assignments that I posted. So whatever I told you to do, start. It needs to all be done by Tuesday. If it's not done then, you in trouble. I may give you more stuff to do to prepare you more for your test. Alright? Your open response is worth more than all other questions. So half of it is still, you gotta write and explain. If you can't do that, you're in trouble. Answer all questions to receive partial credit. Y'all in the habit of leaving things blank. Y'all gotta stop that. Grades. Your grades will be finalized ideally on the 14th, but no later than the 16th when your grades gonna be finalized and when you going to know where you stand. So usually teachers ideally supposed to have grades finalized and turned in that Friday, but sometimes some teachers, are allowed to get things straightened out over that following weekend, and then by Monday when school start, it's done with. No makeup work will be accepted at this time. If you haven't turned in any work that I gave you, I don't want to hear it. Please don't come to me and talk to me about, oh, I didn't get this, that, and the third. Well, it's over with. Everything you need and is in Google Classroom. All right? Your project, talking about the fourth 9 weeks. In your junior, you all got projects. My project isn't hard. It's not. But knowing you kids, you're going to make a big deal out of it because you are so dramatic. So, this project is all about preparing you for your next math class. You're going to create a math portfolio for the fourth 9 weeks. The objective is to prepare you for your next math class. The majority of you guys will be going to Mr. Broussard, if not all of you are going to him. All the stuff that we did in Algebra 2, he's going to do a continuation of what we have did in Algebra 2. Oftentimes, many of you have a tendency of, oh my God, Mr. Howard never taught me this, or the teacher never taught me this. Y'all did that with Miss Myers. Y'all said that she didn't allow you guys to say she didn't teach, which I had to wholeheartedly disagree, because I know she does her job and she does it quite well, if you don't mind me asking. So, Mr. Broussard is going to be expected this binder. When you go to him, he's going to be looking for it because he's going to be looking for you to go back to your prior knowledge to know what you've been taught. What you've been taught. You saying I don't know, Miss Howard didn't teach that? Yeah, please don't lie about it. Don't do it. Because Broussard has already all your tests that y'all have taken from me so far. So every test that y'all taken, he already gave. He has a copy of it. Lesson plans, everything, every lesson that I've taught, he has it. So if you said, oh, he never taught that, you wasn't here, or you just didn't care enough to want to learn it. So let's just make sure that we tell the truth, and we're not trying to lie about it, and we're not trying to act brand new. You've been taught, so act like you've been taught. One thing that he's not going to do, maybe he will do, is to spend 10 days on one lesson because you have a tendency of not wanting to remember what's being taught because you don't want to do nothing at home to prepare for your knowledge. No teacher want to go through that, and no teacher will. You've been taught. Share with what you did not understand. When you come inside and understand nothing, it's because you chose not to want to understand. And when you do that, you makes it hard for yourself. So make it your business, your business to get yourself together. This portfolio is going to help you. So you're like, oh, I forgot about this. Let me go back to my portfolio that Mr. Howard made me put together for Broussard's classroom. And for the few of you who are rolling with me in statistics, I'll be asking you that too. All the math that you've been taught throughout the school years does connect. So if you want to pass and get the semester credit, a possible pass, correct myself, possible, is for you to create the math portfolio. You don't do that, that's going to be a problem for you. Again, I have never been taught this, that, and the third. It's not going to work. It didn't work so far. So, again, the portfolio is to help you prepare for Mr. Broussard's class. And you're going to do well in his class. Because you're going to have the portfolio, you're going to look back at your notes, you're going to know what's up. All right. Tutoring. I do tutoring in school because I try to get it done. So once I'm home, I'm home. I don't have to waste no time. All right. Pay attention to the times of that. Yeah, please don't come in my classroom do my off period trying to be on your phones. Don't do it. Don't do it. And read this. Read the last 2 points. I need for y'all to get good understanding of that. All right, I'm done. Please make sure you watch past videos, practice all this, all that.